Hi everyone, this is my second video, Language and the Self. If you want to see my first video, the link is given in the description box. We have another question from the same section B, that's Language and the Self. And here it is a text taken from online magazine. And here the point of discussion is the relationship between language and thought. And it again demands your wider study of language and the self. Before moving to the article, we must have some mutual understanding that when we say that relationship between language and thought, it means that Sapir-Whorf hypothesis will be quoted in your responses. And what is Sapir-Whorf hypothesis? There are two versions of that. One is a weaker and a stronger version. The stronger version is linguistic determinism, and the weaker version is linguistic relativity. The stronger version, that is linguistic determinism, it says that language determines the thought, or language controls our thought. Keeping this idea in mind, it means that there are words available in any language, so we can think with the help of those available words. And if in some language the words are not available, that language speakers cannot think in those terms. Here I give you an idea for clarity. In English language, there is only one word as uncle for the brother of one's father or mother. But in Urdu language, there are different words for the word uncle. For example, if the brother of my mother is called mamu, and if the brother of my father is younger, he's called chacha. And if the brother of my father is elder brother, he is called taya. And similar is the case with my aunt's husband. He is called Khalu. So we have Chacha, Taya, Mamu, Khalu for the word uncle. But we can't say that the English speakers, they don't understand this kind of relationship in their language because they don't have the words in their language. So this is not a valid idea, because if we do not have any word in our language for some concept, we even try to invent some new words. Next, the weaker version, which seems to be stronger than the stronger version, and it says that is linguistic relativity. It says that language merely influences our thought. But different concepts come under linguistic relativity. According to this idea, we look at our external world with the help of the words available in our languages. For example, there is only black and white color in some languages, so they see the world of colors in that way. And there are different words used for colors in some languages, and they have a proper sense of color distinction. Similarly, time is measured differently in different languages. For example, some languages there is no concept of the seconds, minutes, hours, or weeks. And in the same way, the sense of direction is measured differently. For example, in English language, we have right and left concept. But in some languages, there is no concept of right and left. The direction is told in terms of north, south, east, or west. Now look at this text. The title says, "Can language shape how we think?" You can answer it if you have a better understanding of Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. This Lira Boroditsky, she spent time with Spanish speakers, then Russian speakers, and the people from Aboriginal village in Australia. And what she was looking at, she was finding out how different cultures convey their relationship to concepts such as space, time, or gender through language. For example, the people from Aboriginal village in Australia, there is no left and right concept. Everything is in north, south, east, or west. For example, when you say move your eyes towards left, they say move your eyes towards north or south. Now look at the idea in the next paragraph. In English language, if a cup falls down, if it is on purpose or by chance, you simply say she, he, or you broke the cup. But in Japanese or the Spanish languages, you are not saying the same thing. Your intention matters. If somebody does it on purpose, then there is a separate verb for it. Then you simply say the cup broke itself. Now look at these two ideas here. She broke the cup and the cup broke itself. These are two different things. When you say she broke the cup, it means it is her responsibility. It means the responsibility is on her shoulders for breaking the cup. But when you say the cup broke itself, it means it is nobody's responsibility, the cup itself broke. Okay, this is one of the examples. In your responses, you have to quote some other examples of how language differ in the way they construct meaning. Now the question is, does it mean that it's a blame game going on? In some languages, we are putting the blame on the doer, and in some languages, we are not putting the blame on others. So people who speak different languages pay attention to different things depending on what their languages make them to do. When you can say she broke the cup, you can also say in English language that I broke my arm. But in other languages, you cannot say the same thing. Until and unless you literally break your arm and you say, I broke my arm. So what happens in English language, the English language constructions make you say such things because there is a word order as subject, verb, and object. So that's why doer should be in the first place. Now this is something important for your response here, that how different cultures convey their relationship to concepts such as space, time, or gender. And other thing is important here, and that is how we construct meaning through understanding patterns in metaphor and languages. In the next paragraph, another important point is being discussed, and that is about the temporal information. How different languages include temporal information in their utterances. And there are different examples from the different languages here. For example, in Yagua language, there are 5 distinct grammatical verb forms of the past tense. For example, to describe when an event occurred, they say a few hours prior, the day before, roughly 1 week to a month ago, roughly 2 months to 2 years ago, and the distant to the legendary past. But English language is not that much accurate or precise. In English, we have different verb forms to convey different time periods to the listeners. For example, when something is done in the past, we say, I made dinner. If something I'm making right now, I say I am making dinner. If something is will be done tomorrow, so I will say I will make dinner. So we have different verb forms for different time periods. But Indonesian language is totally different language. There is no verb change in Indonesian language. Just like English language, we are saying I made dinner, I am making dinner, I will make dinner. In Indonesian language, you cannot change the verb form. For example, if make is in the past or the present, it will be written as make. By looking at this annotation, you may have a rough idea how to write a good response in your exams. There are a few things you must keep in mind. One is a Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, by giving special reference to the linguistic determinism or linguistic relativity. Second, how different cultures convey their relationships to concepts such as space, time, or gender through language. And the third thing is how we construct meaning in languages, in different languages. And the last thing is how different languages include temporal information in their utterances.